have to wait a few minutes before we see the first vineyard. Here you will have the first Saint Joseph vineyard. And could you guess what kind of grape is there? What kind of varietal? It's hard to say because the colors haven't changed yet. Those ones were Syrah grapes. Syrah. And actually the red Saint Joseph is only made of Syrah. We don't use any other red grapes. We don't blend it, because it goes very well by itself. It's perfect place for the Syrah. And it's not even written on the labels. If you buy a bottle of Saint Joseph, it won't necessarily be written Syrah on the label, because people know that Saint Joseph is made of Syrah. That's part of the general culture, you know. Sometimes in the back of the label you can find it in some letters. But actually we also do some white Saint Joseph. Not so often, you know. We have like 15% of the production which will be white, sorry. So it's rare and more expensive. And in that case we'll use more Marsanne grape. A little bit of Roussanne too, but the Marsanne is mainly the one used for the Saint Joseph. And the Marsanne is the kind of white grape which turns into buttery notes when it gets older, and a little bit caramelized, you know, honey taste after 5-6 years. So it's quite known for that. Very fresh when it's brand new, but turns very, not sweet, but rounder and oilier when it gets old. And for the Syrah, the specificity of the Syrah is the pepper notes and dark fruits like cherries and blackberries. And when the Syrah gets old, it turns more into leather notes and tobacco, horse sweat. Some people like the horse sweat smell. I'm not sure it's so attractive, but but it needs to be very old to have that horse sweat smell, like after 15 years old. So here that little village that we are crossing is named Saint-Jean-de-Musol. Only a few hundred people live here. And the main economy of this village will be the wine, of course. Because very soon you will see that it's completely surrounded with vineyards. And all the vineyards are on terraces. It's quite hard to work on a flat field in this area. So everything was terraced to help the vine to stand and to workers to reach it. So everything will be done by hand. We don't use any machines in this vineyard. So at this time of the year, the workers are attaching the branches up. You know, when the branches are growing, they might fall down on the ground, so we want to attach them up in order to have a clean row. And sometimes we also cut the head of it when it's too high. We don't need the leaves, which are at the very top of the plant. So they will be cut. But normally in a couple of weeks, all that job should be done. And then they will rest for about a month, waiting for the good time for the harvest. And it really depends on the weather we have. For example, in 2024, so last year, as we had a very wet spring and quite a wet summer too, the harvest was at the end of September. But the year before, it was pretty hot, just like today, like this for 2 months. So the harvest was by the 15th of August. So you have quite a big difference for the harvest according to the weather we have. And here we are going to cross Le Doubs one last time. So Le Doubs, once again, it's the name of the river we were following. It's much wider here because it's reaching the Rhône. As you understood, it's a tributary to the Rhône.
Very clear.
So you see we're back in the main street of Tournon. You can see a tower on the right. I don't know if you can see it well on the right hand side on the hill, because it was a fortified town. And well, good news, the ship hasn't moved. Because sometimes, you know, they start sailing without you. That happens very often. No, never. No. Of course, never trust what a tour guide says. That's the first rule. Okay, you see some people playing pétanque. It's a French game, but those ones are people from another cruise.
Get more water. No, that might be peaceful.
Okay,
Yes,
here we
decent.
are. So I hope you had a nice morning. I hope you enjoyed this ride, and I would like to thank you for your attention and for coming and visiting us. It's always a pleasure to receive you. I wish you a very pleasant cruise, and this afternoon you will be sailing south down to Viviers, which is a charming little village a little bit further south. And I was about to say thank you to the driver, but he's not over, so I might regret it. Tries to take you as close as possible from the ship. Okay, well, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
And bon appetit. Have a good day.